it's not so bright. Are we ready to go?
We're live.
Okay, bonjour, Anine. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Tribal Council meeting. It is June 2nd, Wednesday. The sun is shining. We hope it's shining where you're at, warm. Want to welcome you all. And our invocation was done this morning. Jean Goodsky did do invocation at home. So we are ready to go. With that, I will call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Kathy Travers,
Here.
David Morrison,
Here.
Travis Morrison,
Here.
Shane Drift,
Here.
Peter Cody.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. Oops, okay. Next, we have approval of the agenda. No additions or deletions or corrections. I will call for a motion to approve the agenda.
Move.
Moved by Chief. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dave. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, silent, motion carried. Next, we have the approval of the minutes from May 5th, 2021 in Nett Lake. Any questions on the minutes or comments? Let's see.
I'll get it.
I do know that some of the tribes are receiving their American Rescue Plan money. And we talked about the 1 billion being equally distributed among tribes. That amount will be 1.66 million. The 1 billion that's being distributed equally among the tribes. We have not received our funding as of yet for the American Rescue Plan, but some tribes it's trickling into tribes, so we're just waiting for ours to come in. So that was one of the comments, but we do know the equal amount is the 1.66 million for the 1 billion.
Just something on the first page where we talked about the American Rescue Plan funding. I think one thing is to stress the importance of getting our dam fixed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it goes, there goes our lake.
Yeah.
You know, and we got to. I know we've been looking for funding, and you know, we just got to keep looking, and hopefully we can find something where we can fix it before it's too late.
Yeah, I know that the dam has been a huge issue, and I know that we put in for congressional earmarks for funding for the dam. We also might be able to get some through the state of Minnesota. You know, there are some funding pots out there. Right now it's been temporarily fixed. However, we know that that's only a temporary fix and that we're going to need to really watch the dam day by day here, because like Shane said, if it goes, we can't afford to have it. But I know our public works crew temporarily fixed it, but we got to keep our eyes on it through this summer. So
Do we know when the congressional earmarks will be ratified or voted on?
no, not at this point.
Okay.
Any other thing on the minutes?
Yes, on page 3, I asked about the funding for the inspections and testing services for the Vermilion Head Start Large Mushel Edition. Is it part of the original bid or is it an additional expense? Okay, never mind. You said it's part of the original bid. Okay, I just saw that. Do we know how that's going? I know they started construction on it.
They have started construction on it. I know that they ran into some issues with some large boulders or rocks. Were there, so, Rob, do you have an update at all?
Yep, so they ran into large boulders and stuff when they did the boring samples. They didn't find them on there. So there's a lot of rock over there, but we're working with Joel and we might be able to save them for our dam project if we can get them moved. They're really large boulders, but it would save us some money trying to find them boulders. So, but that's about all I know about that right now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions on the minutes? If not, I'll call for a motion to approve the minutes from May 5th, 2021.
Move.
Moved by Shane. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Chief. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, silent, motion carried. Introduction of new staff.
Okay, we have two of them right now. First one is Christina Isham, introduced by Wendy Dethridge.
Good morning.
Muted, Wendy.
Muted.
You're muted, Wendy.
There you go.
Sorry. Thank you for having us this morning. I'm Wendy Dethridge and I'm the branch director at the Boys and Girls Club Net Lake. I'm excited to introduce Christina. She is our new program coordinator, and that is a new position that was created. And Christina is in charge of one of our second biggest grant is the Trails Grant, and she's going to be overseeing that project, which is a prevention program. And she joined us about 2 weeks ago and she's doing a great job. We're really excited to have her.
You know.
Welcome, Christina.
Hi. I can't even see myself.
Okay, do you have a camera?
I do. I don't know why it's not working.
Okay.
Like it won't even go. I have no idea why.
Okay, well, welcome aboard, and we're happy to have you at the Boys and Girls Club.
No, I'm excited to be a part of it.
That's great. Well, good luck with the job. Thank you for applying and coming on to work.
Welcome
Thank
aboard.
you.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Have a good day, guys.
My
You
board.
too.
Okay. Next, we have Tony Wakeham up, introduced by Jenny Rowland.
Good morning.
Introduce Tony Wakema. And she was my admin assistant, and now she's moved into the dispatcher position. And she was doing all the jobs. And so it's worked out really good. Tony's been really happy at transit and extraordinarily hard worker. She's been taking on her job and a lot of other jobs as well. So we really appreciate her here.
Welcome, Tony. I know you'll do a great job.
Thanks.
Big job out there. You guys are doing a great job.
Welcome aboard, Tony.
Welcome.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Welcome.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay, Rob, is that all the new staff?
Yeah, we have a couple more, but they couldn't get the invite or there was an issue,
Okay.
so, but we'll
Okay.
get them on the next one.
Okay, thanks, Jenny. Okay, next we have our consent agenda. And I will go through that, it's rather lengthy, but that's okay. We approve the request from Erica Cody to sole source from McKesson 2 vaccine refrigerators, $4,710.78 each, 2 ultra low temperature vaccine freezers, $6,019.59 each, and 2 ultra low Tim data loggers, 190.82 each, that will be used for the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines. That would be in both Nett Lake and Vermilion. Approve the request from Melissa Hawk to sole source a vaccine freezer from McKesson in the amount of $6,019.59. Approved a request from Paula Barnes to sole source 2 lab analyzers from McKesson for COVID testing in the amount of $26,006 after trade-in. The request from Erica Cody to sole source 2 vaccine freezers was previously approved in the amount of the $6,019. The cost for each increased to $9,655.34 each. The increase in the sole source was approved. What happened was the freezers were got at a 1 rate, and the person that owns a company or whatever, they raised the cost on the freezers. Next item is approve the request from Randy Long to sole source from CompuDyne to renew the licensing and extended service warranty on 4 Juniper computer switches that run the health clinics. Cost is $6,088. Approve the request from Travis Vaki and Dave Anderson to sole source the hotel rooms from Super 8 Eveleth for 3 welding students from 5/16 to 6/24/21, Sunday through Thursday. Cost is $7,386.30. Adopt resolution number 107/2021. Forbidden, oh, here it is, forbidden to enter upon the lands owned or controlled by the Boys Fort Reservation Tribal Council, Curtis Allen Palmer. Approved by request from Randy Long to sole source from Custom Theaters to install an upgraded carry access system for the Vermilion Clinic. Cost is $14,860. Approved the request from Joel Astelford to sole source the sewer pump replacement at T3 Tibbetts Trail Lift Station. The cost will be $7,000 to Quality Flow Pumps. Sorry. Approve the request from Kim Greiner to approve the sole source rental of a 12-stall shower trailer, purchase of cleaning supplies from Northern Exposure, and to pay someone to clean them each day for the Nett Lake powwow. The cost to come from the CARES Act funds. Approve the licenses for the Vermilion and Nett Lake Early Head Start Centers. Approve the submission of the Early Head Start 2022 grant application. Approve the Boys Fort Band of Chippewa COVID-19 Food Voucher Assistance Program. Approve the request from Teresa Morrison to sole source from Radatich for emergency repair of boiler pumps and replacement of thermostat elder unit. Approve the updated timber sale policies and procedures and to refund the performance bonds and bid deposits back to the tribal loggers that are on file and held by Boys Fort for all timber contracts affected by this policy. Approve the request from Tracy Dagan to have raffles for the Lake Vermilion powwow button raffle, pick your own, and a 50-50 raffle. Approve the request from Millie Holmes for the Nett Lake Powwow Committee to have raffles for the Nett Lake powwow. Approve the 2022 to 2023 CSBG program plan. Approve the 2022 to 2023 MCAG program plan. Approve to close the tribal government offices at noon on Friday, May 28th, 2021 for the Memorial Day holiday. Approve the request from Nikki Irving for the LAEC committee to sole source gift cards from Target in the amount of $8,510 to be used as awards for the students at the LAEC end of the year banquet. Approve the changes to the U.S. Treasury CARES Act, BIA CARES Act, and the state economic impact budgets. Approve the request from Joel Astelford to sole source the purchase of a 2021 International truck garbage truck with a 26-yard packer from McQueen Equipment in St. Paul. The grand total is $276,404.50. Approve the request from Jenna Letty to stop doing temperature checks for employees and guests at all Boys Fort businesses. And approve the request from Travis Vaki and Jalen Strong to sole source computer equipment for the MIAC language grant in the amount of $11,049.97. Wow, that was long.
Can I give you guys a couple updates that I found out this morning here?
Yes.
Okay, on the shower stall one, we had to switch it to 18, so there'd be an increase of about $1,000, just so you guys are aware. We'll be asking again there.
Okay.
And the garbage truck, the bin part, the price went up again on plastic, so we'll be coming forward again for an increase there, so.
What are we gonna do if they increase it again?
Once we lock it in, we gotta lock it in right away. So, once it's locked in,
I thought that's what we did.
that's my thought too, but by the time they got the paperwork, it was already increased. So, we're kind of at the mercy of.
I don't know if you could have, just Joel, have him check to make sure that the price is locked in.
I'll double check that too.
Okay.
I know that with the COVID, boy, it seems like they just keep upping prices on everything. It changes daily, if not hourly. I hate to say that. But boy, it's just been a nightmare. Anyway.
I got a couple of questions on page 2 about the adopted resolution 107/2021 forbidden to enter upon the lands owned or controlled by the Bois Forte Reservation Tribal Council regarding Curtis Allen Palmer. When does this take effect?
That was actually effective the day that the resolution was approved.
Okay, all right. And then regarding on page 4, regarding the approved changes to the U.S. Treasury CARES Act, BIA CARES Act, and the state economic impact budgets, can we make that information available to our band members?
Yeah, what happened is because it was the CARES Act and the BIAs, this was the first pot of money we got. Just so people know that there were some budgets that came in either at under cost or whatever. And so there was some additional funds left over. And so what we did to get rid of, we want to spend the CARES Act money first. So we had to make some minor changes to the budget. So we will get that information out.
Okay, thank you.
And that I wanted to kind of clarify that because it's not the rescue plan. It's the CARES Act. It's the first amount of money. So those budgets were amended. Okay, anything else on the consent agenda, the long consent agenda? If not, I'll call for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Move.
Moved by Travis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Shane. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Silent? Motion carried. Okay. Next, we have Renika Love with discussion on hemp code. Whoops. Sorry, dropped something. Good morning, Renika. There you are.
Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. So yeah, I just wanted to have a discussion and just ask for an update on how that hemp code is going and where things are at with that. And then also within the discussion, I did look at one of the drafts. I don't know if it's been revised since what I'm looking at, but there are 3 so the USDA and the state of Minnesota, well, the state of Minnesota had to submit a plan to the feds, USDA, on their final, what this hemp, the new licensing and what the new testing and all of this stuff is going to be. And just on May 5th, maybe May 6th, USDA just approved that. So now everything, I believe what I'm looking at, the draft that I'm looking at for the hemp code for Bois Fort is basically outdated already.
Alrighty.
And so yeah, because it just happened, like I said, in the first week of May. And so I would like to know if those areas of which have been changed by the USDA could be approved for us as well. Or could be written into the draft, rewritten, however that works. I'm
Okay.
learning. Sorry.
That's okay. No, that's good. I know that especially I know Chief and Shane are really on our hemp medical marijuana projects, or they're really involved with it. And so it's sad that these things keep changing so fast, because once you get, like you said, something developed, it's already inundated or wrong. So what we'll probably do is send it to the, we did get Red Lake's hemp code, and that's where we're getting our information from, because Red Lake is really more advanced with the hemp project than we are, and I believe White Earth is too. But anyway, we will be probably sending this back to our tribal attorney to incorporate the updated information, like you said, through the USDA or whatever, and make it compliant with the way it is now. So we will be getting that sent off. And then we will probably we will be getting it out in the Bois Fort News too, for people to look at, so they understand what the code is, in case, like yourself, I know you're trying to go into business there, and know where we're at with what we're doing with regards to hemp.
More or less. I mean, I do want to go into business, but I'm teeter-tottering between research and business in the same sense.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I met with some people from White Earth just over the weekend, and it looks very, very feasible, plausible that the research that I want to do can be done.
Okay.
And that's within neuroscience and the chemical compounds within CBD and CBG,
Oh, that's
which come from the
awesome.
hemp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Winona LaDuke that you went and saw?
I
Or
did
someone
go and
else?
see Winona previously,
Okay.
but I've been dealing with some other people from White
Oh,
Earth who are
awesome.
also very advanced. They're already what they're doing is they've set up a mobile unit. So when these tribal members have these hemp farms and they're growing hemp, well, one of the hugest things is, yeah, we can grow hemp all day, but then what are we going to do with it once?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what they do is they have a mobile extraction lab that they bring, and we can take it and turn it into fuel. So
Nice.
they can break it down to the biomass into the fuel. And White Earth, they're already fueling people's homes with hemp fuel, trying to convert more people from propane to fuel. So
The other thing that we were discussing, I know we met with Winona probably about a year ago. I bet it's been already. Time flies by. But I've heard that hemp can pull things out of the ground that aren't good for the soil and stuff. It can pull out that bad stuff in the soil. And we were actually thinking, or just talking basically, about the sawmill site, because it's, had fuel and stuff out there, and, trucks and what have you. What's the possibility of just seeing how that works as a project? It's just
as a research hemp lot. I think that would be awesome, and that's one of the most important, if not the most valuable portion of this plant, is its roots, because that's exactly what it does. It takes the icky, and it actually, it's like its own little conversion cycle in there, where it's the bad and it produces the good.
Yeah.
And if you have that type, if that's my guess, this is just like a theory, I guess I would throw out there. If there's already been fuel into the ground that's been spilt there, whatever, and we plant hemp there, and we take that hemp and convert it into the biomass into hemp fuel, I would like to see how that biofuel turns out, because if it would it be more potent? Would it be more, stronger than something that where hemp wasn't grown, where there was a gas spill, or where there wasn't anything like that within its soil?
Yeah.
But another thing that this plant does is it regenerates our soil. Like, that's one of the most important things that we need to kind of be looking at in terms of this plant, and just to get our lands back to where we can grow on them and plant on them. And these blueberry fields out here, one of the things where we're located here, we're in the pines. They're very, very thick. And one of the bad things about pines is that they make our grounds very, very acidic.
Yeah.
And that what turns the ground kind of harder into clay, and it makes it hard for other plants to actually survive, because high acid isn't good for anything or anyone. But one of the things that actually also helps regenerate our soil is the blueberries. So I would like to see a field of blueberries and hemp, and then test that soil and see where pines were, and test the soil. I'm all into the research of this because of the land. We're gonna need our land, well, we need our land, point blank, but we're gonna need a healthy land.
Yep. Good.
And so I would just like to see some stuff like that. But I wanted to just discuss the actual portions in the subdivisions of the actual code that was submitted, because there are some things that are written within what the USDA has put out that's not in our actual code.
Okay.
Which is the inspection and sampling of the actual plants.
Okay.
It does say that, we'll get our plant sampled, but it went from a 20-inch cutting to a 5 cutting.
Oh, okay.
To a 5-inch cutting. So now you're just snipping the tips of the flowers of the plants for the testing of, and that's just for THC testing.
Right.
And they also have laid out, like, say you grow 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 plants, the sampling would be of every plant. If you have 50 plants, it would be, of 30 plants. If you have 10 to 50 plants, half of that would be tested.
Okay.
And we don't have that writing in there.
Okay.
And then, also, what they did is they came up with a remediation plan.
Okay.
So if your plants are testing over the THC level, which also was changed, the THC level was previously at a 0.3% or below. Anything above a 0.3% was considered too high, not what would that be? Certifiable for commerce or whatever that's called. They've now changed that to 1%, between that 30 and that 1%. Yeah. And you no longer have to get rid of the entire plant. They just ask that you destroy the flower material from the plant. So you can still use the seeds, the stalks, the stems, all of that, and the leaves of the plant, which are still also, you can convert that into biomass as well. I actually just learned, I went to Winona's not too long ago and learned how to make hempcrete and that's exactly what is used, is all the materials, everything but the flour. You can mix it in with the clay.
Nice.
And then the violations, where now the violations have changed now, because all of the percentages have changed. You're no longer at a negligent violation if you're over that 3%.
Okay.
Now your negligence would be over the 1%. And before, you could only have one violation per year. Or you could have, they were violating you they were violating you every time one of your lots tested, so you could have multiple violations, and that caused you to get closer to losing your license for 5 years, or however, 3 to 5 years, I think it was. But now they can only violate you. You can only have one violation per year. And then if you get 3 or more within a 5-year period, then they're talking about ineligible for licensing and stuff like that.
Okay.
So those are just the exact portions
Changes.
that I would like to see updated or
Okay.
or implemented within the code that's there.
Okay, good.
So, Anika, if you had, say you had 6 different fields,
Mhm.
and they test and you come up positive on 3 of them, or, higher, that just counts as one infraction, right?
One, because no matter how many fields I have, I only have one license. All those fields are under one license. So when you get a violation, you can't violate me for every field. You're violating the license, not the actual, the field isn't being violated. The licenses, the procedures, or whatever's going on while you're testing so high.
And you can only be once under these new guidelines.
Under the
Once
new,
per year.
under the new plan that has that in USDA has come out and said that Minnesota's plan is actually one of the better plans that they have seen, and they would like to take the plan that Minnesota has submitted and have other states apply this plan because it's, I don't know, such a great plan.
Okay, well, what we'll do, Renika, is we will get this to our attorney and get it updated and get copies out and have people put it in the Voice for It News too, so people can see it, because there might be some people out there wanting to start their businesses. And we need this code in place for them.
Yeah, we need to and there's another part in there that talks about, I think we need a part in there that discusses extraction.
Okay.
Because like I said, everybody can grow hemp. Anybody can grow hemp. If you can keep a tomato alive, you can grow a hemp plant. It's very, it's very simple but we'll have all these millions of hemp plants, and then what are we going to do
with them? Yeah, they got to find a market for them. Yeah.
Yeah, not only a market for them, but even if we find a market, before you get to market, you have to have the broke down product. So I think that part we should be in there somewhere too, is extracting. And I don't know if you guys want to do it like you guys do the extraction, or you're going to allow individuals to do the extraction, because that's, you're dealing with some types of chemicals.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Well, geez, you're really up on this. I really appreciate your input on this and staying on top of it. And, the more we can do to help you and others that may be interested is our goal. So
I appreciate that, Kathy.
Yeah,
I really do. I've been doing research on this and really wanting to get into this this is my 2nd year, and I've just been doing training and research on it, because like I said, where I really want to get into is the neuroscience and this, a lot of our some of our kids, a lot of people, it's kind of like the opioids and the amphetamines that are affecting our people, but it's not just from what they get on the streets. It comes from within the pharmaceutical too. So I would like to see us move to a more organic medicine, because that's truly where I see it as. And I guess, got to have it because of the schedule that it's on with the feds. It's all crazy and stuff like that. And I don't agree with that. And I think it's sad, because I believe that this can help. I think it can bring us back from the brinks of the genocide that we are looking at from the drugs.
Yeah.
I sincerely believe that. And that's my goal, is to figure out how to get how to get not just the CBD, but the Delta 9s and all portions, the CB, because the
Yeah.
next, we're not messing with the THC. Everybody's looking at it for CBD. Now, the next hot commodity that's going to come out of this plant is the CBG, because that's the next trichome that's coming up. You know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah.
what is this? What does this affect? And that's where I'm at. I want to see how these components of this plant can adapt to the receptors within our brain and stop us from wanting that urge to
Use.
whatever,
Yeah.
wherever I can get to connect to that receptor, because these same Wellbutrins and all these other drugs that are given from the pharmaceuticals do the same thing. So how can I take that same model and put it on this, but get it to connect so that we're not depressed, so that we don't have anxiety, so we don't have attention deficit disorders, all of that. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I'm way off in left field and getting ready to set up a lab. And yeah, seriously, I'm
That's good.
working with US Labs and the DEA, because that's another thing you got to think about too, is because this equipment that we get for processing, extracting and stuff like that has to be registered with the DEA.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at right now. So once I get past that, I guess I will meet with you
Wonderful.
again.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, keep up the great work out there and researching and getting information on it, because you're really educating me right now. Thanks so
Thank
much,
you. I
Renika. We'll
appreciate
get that updated. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
Yep, make it.
Have a good day now. Good luck.
Yeah,
See you.
Renee.
Yep.
Okay, next we have Pam Hughes with the Northeast Overdose Fatality Review Interagency Data Sharing Agreement.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Pam.
Good morning.
Yeah.
So what I have today, I was contacted by Andy. I think his last name was Clade, but he is the program coordinator at the Arrowhead EMS Association. And so he wanted to know if I would be interested in being a part of this review team. And what I have in front of you, this has also been approved by the MDH. And so I did, when I heard from Andy, I did reach out to Damon, and Damon has agreed to be on this as well. So it'll be
Nice.
both of us representing Boys Fort.
Hang on, I lost my agenda. Sorry. My apologies.
Hey, Kathy, it looks like this.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief.
You're
I
welcome.
Appreciate that. Okay, sounds good. Any questions for Pam?
Yes, a couple of questions. Now, with these cases that they're going to be reviewing, are they going to be reviewing ones from Boys Fort? If we have
Yes.
any?
Yes.
And this wouldn't be a violation of any confidentiality, any HIPAA stuff, would it?
No, we have to sign confidentiality agreements.
Okay.
So we wouldn't be in violation. There are, like, both Dame and I will have to sign the confidentiality agreement. There was one more agreement that we will need to sign. But once this is signed, then we can sign the other documents. And everybody, as a part of that review team, has to sign them.
And one last question, did the band attorney review this?
Yes, he did. Because he had them add in a clause to protect Boys Fort.
Okay, good. That's all I had.
Pam, what is the data going to be used for?
Well, right now, Kathy, I think what they're wanting to do is just have some sort of a sense on the amount of ODs and the fatalities from that in our region.
Yeah.
Because we all know there's quite a few ODs that go non-reported, but that's what they're trying to look at, and to gather that information so that we have concrete evidence that's saying, this is the amount of ODs, this is the amount of fatalities. And, they'll get information from MDH on that. And so that's why MDH initially approved this agreement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know that way long ago, and I'm talking long ago, that the health facility in the used to have the injury prevention program, and that collected data because there's no such thing as an accident. Everything is preventable, and they collected data on suicides. They collected data on vehicle crashes. They collected data on but it collected data basically on things that, like the rumble strips at 7 Mile Corner was part of an injury prevention project to keep people from going straight. So it did some prevention activities and safety things like bike helmets and ATV helmets and that kind of stuff. But we actually got a lot of data from the ambulances. And they used to have to fill out data forms or injury prevention forms saying this was a car vehicle crash. Because, the people that are called are the EMS people.
Right. Mhm.
Are they going to be included in this too?
Yes, there are. So like that's where Andy works at, is with the Arrowhead EMS.
Okay.
And so, but in there, you'll see the number of different agencies that are participating in
I
this.
do.
They have fire departments, different things like that. So yeah.
Good. Okay.
I thought it was really a good thing that they reached out to Boys Fort.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
A lot of our band members live in those areas that we're servicing. So
Right. Mhm.
I just had a question too. Hey Pam, does this cover like the tower ambulance also, because they cover the Vermilion sector? Do we know?
I will have to ask that, Robbie. We've only had one meeting so far, but I can ask that. My thoughts is that yes, it is, because that's within the region. But I will check on that.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions for Pam? If not, I'll call for a motion to approve the Northeast Overdose Fatality Review Interagency Data Sharing Agreement.
A move.
Moved by Chief. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dave. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent. Motion carried. Pam, is there going to be a report on this at all? Like
Yes.
a annual report, or it'd
Yes.
be nice to see that. So.
Yep.
Okay, great.
And I'll
Thank
get
you.
that to you guys. Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Have a good
Thank
day.
you, Pam.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Pam.
Okay, next we have, it says Jenna Letty, Tarageja, Chris Holm, request from Lake Country Power. Oh, Jenna's doing the resolution, right?
Right.
Anyway. Request from Lake Country Power to spray herbicides on tribal land. Hi, Tara. Hi, Chris.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, it's working.
Okay.
Sometimes you have the option for the video and sometimes you don't. So
Okay, well, we see you.
you just have to turn it on right there. Oh, you don't have it.
I don't have it.
Okay. Well, Doc's here too.
Okay,
Is Jenna on?
I don't see her.
Don't see her either.
Okay, so what would you like us to do?
You can just go ahead. We'll text her and see where she's at.
Well, so yeah, Jenna contacted Tara, who contacted me about some pesticide applications over by the Y store, I believe. There's apparently a strip of vegetation near the road, I believe she said, that they want to knock down, and they've been advised, I would guess.
Oh, you're breaking up there, Doc.
Can you hear me?
No. Well, now we can. There.
Okay. All right. So we're playing past the phone here.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so what
Oh, you froze up again, Doc.
You have to try your video, Doc. Turn your video off. It'll.
Yeah, Tara, we can't use your video, I guess.
All right, stop video. Here we
There
go.
you go.
There
Better?
you go. Yep.
Okay. So Jenna wants to know if it's appropriate to use pesticides to kill off some vegetation by the Y store. The consulting company, the pesticide applicators, I'm assuming she was in contact with, suggested 2 pesticides. Both of them are standard use. I'm sorry, I keep saying pesticides. They're herbicides. Okay. They're standard use herbicides. They're used a lot. That doesn't mean they're necessarily safe, but they're not, over the top crazy bad things either if they're applied carefully. Both of the herbicides that she's considering, they're your standard amine alcohol based herbicides. They work by the alcohol carries the amine into the plant. The alcohol evaporates off, and then the chemicals kill the plant. They're moderately non-lethal. They have short half-lives, but if they're applied under certain conditions, like in windy conditions or obviously rain or whatever, with this runoff, there
Where
could
they
be
can travel.
where they can travel, there could be problems. So, our opinion is that, they are standard herbicides. They can be used if they're used carefully under the right conditions, and presumably the company that she wants to use to apply those would know those conditions and use them accordingly. So that's basically a summary of what she was asking and what we suggested to her. So in the area over there by the Y store, not sure what's behind the Y store, if it's wetlands or ponds or whatever. The Vermilion River there and Lake Vermilion's a fair distance away. If it's applied, in non-windy conditions, because the stuff will kill other aquatic vegetation too. So, but if it's applied correctly and in calm conditions, and it probably would be fine, is our opinion.
Is that going to be relayed to them then if this is approved to do it when it's not windy, or are they just going to do it anyway?
Yeah, all these conditions were written down and given back. So we've already consulted with Jenna on
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Presumably that, the company that does this knows what they're doing, and they won't be out there in high wind conditions. It's probably something that, somebody should keep up with them about when they plan to do it, just to verify that, conditions are right to do that. So.
And Doc, I do believe that Lake Country currently does that to properties that are next to ours already, right? Like on the hill, the hills up there where they take out the vegetation and stuff out of there.
Yeah. The county is real, pro herbicide, and they're spraying a lot, all around here. So yeah, it is being put on in adjacent areas too.
I'm kind of like going off that note there. I think that we should address that with Grand Portage and also the 1854 office with the county that are in the 1854 treaty area. That we need to address that, because if they're just going out and spraying any old thing any old way, are they really following the rules and guidelines?
I think that's a good idea, because I've seen the tanker trucks out even on 115, going from Highway 53 over to Tower there, and the county has a real interest in keeping vegetation away from power lines and away from roadways, which is understandable, but they really spray back toward the woods with that stuff. So there's a lot of it that goes on. I'll agree with you. And that should be, some questions should be asked about that.
You know, and then also, to see how far they have to stay away from bodies of water or marsh, that type of land. I'm pretty sure there's rules and guidelines regarding that.
You would, yes, I agree. You would think so, but I mean, I
But,
see them out in wet areas on 115 and, you know, spraying vegetation. So,
Hello.
hello.
Now- Now, getting back to the wine store thing, how much land are they looking at spraying?
We haven't received that information from Y-Store or Jenna. We asked for that also. It would be nice to see, you know, the land area and extent of application or an application procedure or a plan, but we haven't received any of that. We just gave our opinion to Jenna, and hopefully they handle it that way with their maintenance. I'm not sure.
Myself, I would like to see the plan, you know, make sure that everything's gonna be done right, rather than just approve it, and they go ahead and do it, and then they, we violated a rule here.
Right.
I would think, you know, just from reading this Lake Country Power, I do believe they were here, maybe a year or two back for right away of, the power line, across, from, but in front of the Y store, and then on the other side of 169 down towards, that property we own there. And I think it's about a quarter of a mile to half mile of property. I believe that's what it was. I don't know if anybody remembers when they were here for that right away.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess I agree with Shane that we need to see where they're gonna spray. And, you know, the amount of area that's gonna be sprayed, because it's like, is it small? Is it large? Is it better safe than sorry?
So I guess, I would ask to just table it until they give us the plans.
Okay, is that a motion, Shane, to table?
Yep, motion to table.
Shane makes a motion to table until we see the area that's gonna be sprayed. The plans. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dave. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Hey,
Aye.
hey, Tara.
Opposed? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Tara, I just had a question for you. I know that one time, a few years back, I know that, they were trying to spray on 65 there, and we told them that we didn't allow them. Do we still have that, on file anywhere, or do you know of, or?
No, I don't. I can look up that
Okay.
information, but you do not have an exact plan for herbicide pesticides on the reservation. So I think that's something that you may need to explore.
Yeah.
And I have a quick question also to follow
Yeah,
up.
because
If
I
I,
know that they used to spray years ago, and 2 weeks later, everything would just look orange. And I
Yeah.
remember end up not allowing them to spray on the reservation anyway. So I'm done.
okay, I think that was just something that the council had, exercised their decision-making at one point. But we should probably get a whole plan together to cover the reservation.
Yeah, I agree.
Yay, more work, huh?
I need to finish my motion. Opposed, silent, motion carried. Okay, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
I agree
Sorry.
with Sarah, though. I think there needs to be a reservation-wide plan for all lands within that the tribe owns, so.
I'm thinking they might be still not spraying anything because they're doing work out underneath the power lines out by my place. They're have a couple of big brushing machines that are clearing underneath the power lines.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm
Maybe a
assuming-
resolution for now?
Yeah, we can get with legal and get a resolution posted or done and to have you guys look at that and see what you think about it. Sound good,
Okay.
Sarah?
And then what kind of interaction do you want us to have with Jenna and their maintenance crew? Is there a person over there at Fortune Bay that we speak to? I remember they used to have an environmental person, but now I don't know.
I don't
So,
know if they do now.
I don't know.
I don't know if they do either, but I think they have a safety officer.
oh, okay. Well, whoever Jenna has us,
Okay.
to hook up with and exchange information back and forth, we can do that.
Yeah, and we should send a letter to Lake Country Power just expressing that, we're gonna be looking at a reservation-wide plan for spraying under the power poles or wherever that they need to contact the tribe or consult with the tribe prior to doing it.
One other comment on that regard, Kathy, there's a lot of entities out there who have their hands on herbicides and are spraying too. So we might want to contact others. I mean, the Forest Service does it. the
Oh,
state
yep,
of
okay.
Minnesota does it. The county does it. Everybody's into spraying herbicides. So
Okay, we can do that. We'll check into that too, Doc. We'll get together with you and see what we can do.
Okay.
Good, thank you, sir. Thanks, Tara.
Yep.
Be great.
hey, thank you.
Okay, next we have a resolution from Jenna requesting a amendment to the technical standards to the tribal state compact for the control of class 3 gaming. And I will read the resolution. Whereas the Boys Fort Band of Chippewa Tribe, the band is a federally recognized Indian tribe organized under the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934 and operating under the revised constitution and bylaws of the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe. And whereas the lawful governing body of the band is the Boys Fort Reservation Tribal Council, which has the inherent authority and responsibility to take action to protect the health, well-being, and general welfare of the band, its members, and the reservation community. And whereas the RTC is authorized to regulate all gaming, including class 3 gaming on all lands within the territorial jurisdiction of the band. And whereas the band owns a gaming enterprise on its Indian lands known as Fortune Bay Resort Casino and operates the gaming enterprise pursuant to the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act 25 USC 2701 to 2715. The band's gaming ordinance and the tribal state compacts entered into between the band and the state of Minnesota. And whereas section 6.12 of the tribal state compact for the control of class 3 gaming allows the technical standards of the compact to be amended by agreement between the band and the Minnesota Commissioner of Public Safety. And whereas the gaming enterprise has found it necessary to upgrade certain class 3 gaming devices to permit the use of partitioned hard drives as a permissible storage media. And whereas in order for the upgrade to be put into operation, the technical standards of the compact must be amended. And whereas RTC finds that it is in the best interest of the band and its gaming enterprise to approve the attached technical amendment and submit it to the Minnesota Commissioner of Public Safety for signature and adoption. Now therefore be it resolved that the RTC approves a technical amendment to section 6.14 of the Tribal State Compact for the control of video games of chance as reflected in the attached document and authorizes the chairwoman of the RTC to execute the amendment on behalf of the band and submit it to the Minnesota Commissioner of Public Safety for signature and adoption. And I think this was done with Jeff and with Mary Magnuson from the law group Regarding, it looks like they changed approved the draft language for the amendment and agreed that the deletion of which is will allow you to have the secured logic components on the floor. So basically, it's just a technical amendment to the Class 3 gaming video games of chance. Don't ask me any questions because I don't. That's all I can answer.
I have a bunch of questions for you. Yeah.
You have to ask Jenna the questions. I can't answer.
Well, one basic, simple question. I'll just put it out there. What happens if they don't approve it? Then what?
That's a good question. Then we can't do what EJ is the one requesting this. So hang
Okay.
on. Hang on, I'm getting a hold of Jenna. Bobby, does she know she's on the agenda?
Thought she did. Invite should have went.
Hang on. Okay.
I think if you slide over one page, it'll show the resolutions. Slide over one more page.
Yeah, it's got the amendment there. But like Shane's question, what happens if it's not approved? They want to permit agree to amend the compact for the express and limited purpose of permitting, there's Jenna, the use of partitioned hard drives by the community. Jenna, good morning.
Morning.
We're on the resolution for the amendment to technical standards for Class 3 video games. Are you there? Oh, there you are.
Give me 1 second. Let me open it up here really quick.
Okay.
If that's the one I'm thinking of, that might have been for the Gaming Commission, not the RTC. Let me see which one they sent.
This one is for the resolution is for the RTC.
Okay.
For the compact. Section 6.12 of the Tribal State Compact regarding the technical standards of the compact.
Let's see. I wonder if that was for the cards.
Necessary to upgrade certain Class 3 gaming devices to permit the use of partitioned hard drives as a permissible storage media.
Okay, let me pull up the email. Give me 1 second.
And then we have to submit it to the Commissioner of Public Safety.
Let me grab EJ really quick and see.
Okay. Chief, I just heard you
What?
yawning.
My cat's been getting out at night, so worry more that he's out
Jenna,
than.
do you want us to move on while you get in touch with EJ and then we can come back to you?
Actually, hey, Kathy, I've got EJ on.
Oh, okay. All right.
EJ give you guys a quick summary.
Okay. Hi, EJ.
Hey, Kathy. I'm right in the middle of the Jewels committee meeting.
Oh, okay.
But I just hung up, so we're good. Trying to bring up that
It's regarding the Yeah, it's regarding the permit the use of partitioned hard drives as a permissible storage media.
Oh, yeah, okay. I just needed to be reminded what it was for. So right now they can only use a certain storage inside a slot machine. With this one, they're able to use a different, because the machines that are coming out are a lot different and are using different means of storage.
Oh.
And Minnesota is the only one that only allows one type of storage.
Oh, okay. So we're just amending this to add another type of storage.
Yep.
Okay.
And this came from Mary, right, EJ? Mary and Jeff?
Yep, Mary Magnuson. Shane had a question, but what happens if we don't approve this? Or if it doesn't?
Then we wouldn't be able to get any of the newer games from IGT, which, I mean, it's not a death sentence, but.
Okay. No, but we want to keep up to date on machines, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Shane, do you have any other? He had a bunch of questions, he said, so.
Yes, the other thing too is that, it's how it talks about, if you look at the resolution down at the last whereas, the RTC finds that it is in the best interest of the band. If we can, be prepared to explain how it is in the best interest of the band. So basically kind of giving our case for this, the ground to be more solid so we can stand on. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, the other questions are pretty irrelevant, but yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions for EJ on the resolution? If not, do I have a motion to approve the resolution to amend the technical standards to the compact for the control of Class 3 gaming?
Move.
Moved by Shane. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Chief. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, silent, motion carried. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thanks.
Okay, next we have Jenny Rowland with the resolution 2021 MnDOT 5311 grant application. You don't see Jenny? Oh, Jenny's not on there. Rob,
Yep, I'm working here. Hang on. Give me a second here.
okay. No Chief Burdick either? Okay. Well, we have another resolution, so I can read that.
She's joining now. There
Okay.
was a link problem.
Oh, okay. And Chief Burdick isn't on either.
Yeah, he just texted me. He asked me he had to run out, so he had to.
Oh, you had to call. Okay. Hi, Jenny.
Hello.
Okay, we have the resolution for the 2021 MnDOT 5311 grant application.
Okay, this is the same grant. So this is the same grant. Hello?
Go ahead, we can hear you.
Jenny.
Oh, okay, okay, good.
Okay, so this is for the This is through MnDOT Public Transit Participation Grant Program, which is for operating funds to maintain transportation services. And it requires a cost share, which is about a local share of 50% of the operating deficit. So we can cover the 50%. Okay. The resolution states that whereas the, I'm just going to read the important whereases here. Whereas the transportation manager has identified a funding opportunity through the state of Minnesota, and whereas the grant application requires a commitment to share certain costs, and now therefore be it resolved that the Bois Forte Reservation Tribal Council hereby authorizes the transportation manager to apply for a department MnDOT 2021 Public Transit Participation Grant Program, operating funds to maintain transportation services. Be it further resolved that the Bois Forte Band of Chippewas entered into agreement with the state of Minnesota to provide public transit service, and be it further resolved that the Bois Forte Public Transportation Program agrees to provide a local share of 50% of the operating deficit, and be it further resolved that the Bois Forte Public Transportation Program agrees to provide 100% of the local share necessary for expenses that exceed funds available from the state. Be it further and finally resolved that the chairwoman or secretary treasurer is authorized to execute the grant contract agreement and to designate an official to execute and deliver such documents may be necessary to implement the grant, including amendments to such documents. So this is just something annually that you apply for?
Yeah, this is our annual grant application that we make to MnDOT. But when they make the award, then it goes back to the federal government, and then we receive our money directly from the feds as a sovereign nation.
Okay.
It's the same. I just changed the dates, and this grant is due, I think, in the middle of June.
Okay.
It usually runs between 45 and 50,000, and contract monies that we receive for providing services covers the cost of the 50% match.
Okay, cool. Any questions for Jenny? If not, I'll call for a motion to approve resolution 2021 MnDOT 5311 grant application resolution.
Move.
Moved by Travis. Is there a second? Second by Dave. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried. Good job, Jenny.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next, we had Chief Burdick on, I believe. Did he have a call?
Yeah, he texted me, said he had to run, so he asked me to present
Okay, all right.
on his behalf. So the first one we have is a sole source request for the K9 insert in the amount of $7,610. The law enforcement does have the budget for the fund request. Just needs a sole source. It is a Hut and Pop Pro system for Mika, sorry, for their new Chevy Silverado they just picked up.
Okay. Cool. And the vehicle doesn't have this equipment for the K9 officer, so that's why we're putting it in, basically.
Right.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the sole source request for the K9 insert?
Move.
In the amount of $7,610. Moved by Chief. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Travis. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, silent, motion carried. Okay, next we have the sole source request for officers cubicle.
Yeah, which the total is $5,419.02. Again, the price change initially was $4,500, $8,550, but it price went up again. So, but that's they do have the funds for it. So
Okay. Okay, good. Any questions? And this is with Northern Office Products, Northern Business Products. Okay, do we have any questions? If not, I'll call for a motion to approve the sole source for Northern Business products for $5,419.02 for the officers' cubicles.
Move.
Moved by Travis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Chief. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, silent, motion carried. No other business, I see, right, Rob?
No.
Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Yep.
Made by Chief, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Shane, all in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried. Thank you all for joining us today. I want to also on behalf of the council and myself and everybody out there to congratulate all our graduates from Head Start to high school to post-secondary. We're very proud of all of you and I wish you well and please be safe. Everybody also please be safe. The pandemic is slowly hopefully going to be gone, we hope, but not in its entirety, we know. So please get your vaccines. If you can't, wear your mask, social distance, be safe. We do have our Sagi Baga powwow this weekend. We would like to also say that we will have showers available for that. We hope that the canopies that Shane requested of the powwow committee for some of the elders and that there's plenty of water on hand because it's going to be a nice hot weekend. But we hope that everybody will have time to come up and join the powwow. And I want to say Giga Wabaman and have a good day.
You want
Did you?
Have a
Sorry,
good day.
The next meeting?
What?
Did you want to mention about the next meeting? About going in person?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. We were supposed to go in person this time for our meeting, but we weren't quite ready. So our next meeting will be in person. We will not be doing a Zoom meeting, but we will be doing YouTube. We will be having it live in person. But we will also have Zoom available for Shane if he doesn't want to come down. So that's fine. Okay, good. All right, everybody have a good weekend. How do I get out of here?
See you.
Ah, you guys are funny.